Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Ruach Kodash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations and much love to the rest of you sincere Aki and pushing the word and truth and sincerity. This is the cleric Izar. I'm coming at you with another lesson. I am continuing my law to bring my ongoing series from Excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Perverseness, another observation of predictive programming, how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson, The Lord Descends in a Cloud. The image I have on display is from a film I watched in my past. Of course, being this truth, I reflected on this particular series. This movie was released on May 6, 2011. The title of it is Thor, directed by Kenneth Branagh. Just a coincidence, I just recently did another video using the same director who was responsible for directing Mary Shelley's Frankenstein back in the mid-90s. Just a coincidence. But basically, in this particular movie, when the character Thor, who is derived from the comic books of Marvel Comics, he's banished away from Asgard, which is their particular heaven or the heavens. And when he's actually descending, two things are happening. One, he's in a storm cloud, and two, he's in a pillar of light. Okay. And this actually comes from the scriptures, and this is where Kenneth Branagh had derived these particular images from. It goes back to ancient times, okay? And the scripture is described in Psalms 104, verse 3. It talks about he maketh the clouds his chariots, okay? I can go ahead and read that scripture for you. Psalms 104, verse 3, and it reads, Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Okay, and this is how the Lord, the one you English call Jesus Christ, whose real name is Yahweh Shai, who is a black man, a so-called black man, I should say. That's how he had departed in the ascension in the New Testament, and when he was on the earth. Okay, it was a chariot that arrived, or a so-called UFO, or so-called UAP, or unidentified aerial phenomenon, or unidentified flying object. We know them as IFOs, identified flying objects, because we identified them what they are. Okay, and these things were visual, and they were, they're visual today. Okay, they're all amongst us. In fact, the chariot sightings have increased in the past couple of years. Okay. And the Lord rides in these, okay, so as well as the angels. Let me bring out Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1, and it backs that up. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1, it reads, The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And then that's what's going to happen very soon during World War III. There's going to be a massive chariot sighting, or a massive chariot invasion, and the elect shall be delivered in salvation and be saved in the thermonuclear war. Okay, mainly here in Babylon, aka America, but also in the four corners of the world as well. Okay. And how do we know that? How Yahweh Shai is going to be returning in the clouds? Well, he said it himself. Matthew chapter 26, verse 64 reads, Yahweh Shai saith unto him, Thou hast said, Nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, and coming in the clouds of heaven. And those clouds of heaven, just like I brought out, are the chariots, starting with the elder apostles on down. And they've instructed us on what these are, and have been interpreted to what these are in everyday life. Okay, these things are real. Okay, And just like in this particular image, this particular scene, there was a sonogram or a sonograph that picked up Thor coming down in this particular cloud or this pillar of light. And this is also depicted in the book of Numbers, specifically chapter 12, verse 5. Numbers chapter 12, verse 5 reads, "And the Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth." And that's around the time when Aaron and Miriam were in trouble for what they had said about Moses. And you can read about that in that particular book. Okay. And this is also how the Lord our power, Yahweh, which is his name, declared his name in the book of Exodus. And you can go to Exodus chapter 34, verse 5, and it reads, "And Yahweh descended in the cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of the Lord." Okay. And once again, his name is Yahweh. Okay. And so these things are real, and they've been in the past, they've been in the present, and they're going to be in the future. Okay. And this even appeared when Israel was at Mount Sinai in the book of Exodus. Let's go into chapter 19. We'll start at verse 9. Exodus chapter 19, verse 9, it reads, "And Yahweh said unto Moses, Lo, I come unto thee in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with thee, and believe thee forever. And Moses told the words of the people unto Yahweh." Okay. So basically, I was just watching this film just recently, and I had to pick that up. I was trying to find this particular image online. I couldn't find it. But I had to actually take a still of it from my television screen. Okay. But yeah, it's all throughout the Marvel universe, showing the ascension and descension in that particular cloud, as well as the pillar of light. Okay. But I'm going to end it on this. I always like to end my videos on a good note, with some type of silver lining. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there is a happy ending. In Jeremiah chapter 16, it talks about the restoration of Israel. You blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. There is a restoration coming. I'm going to start at verse 14 in the book of Jeremiah chapter 16. Jeremiah 16, verse 14. And it reads, "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, The Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt." So like I said, these chariots were seen in the ancient times, all right, shortly when our forefathers left Egypt, and they were in the wilderness for those 40 years shortly after. Okay, verse 15, reading on. "But Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north." And the land of the north is going to be Babylon, a.k.a. America, or Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, I should say, Salakia. And that's what's going to be even more of a triumphant salvation than when our forefathers had left Egypt. Okay, because this is going to be miraculous to see this many thermonuclear bombs go off and have these chariots appear at the same time, and the chariots also will be firing onto Babylon the Great, aka America, to help destroy this place for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay, and I'm really looking forward to it. Let me read that again, verse 15 in Jeremiah 16. "But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them." And those other lands are going to be the other four corners of the world, because the elect have been scattered in the diaspora. Okay. Reading on, "And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers." Okay, so most likely Israel will be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction as well, but it'll be restored as well, so that the children of Israel can live in their land again. Okay, but it's going to be very miraculous to see these events happening all throughout the world, and it's going to be telecast through the internet and through television and news channels and so forth, and different platforms. Okay, about this particular deliverance. Okay, so they don't get this stuff just from anywhere. Okay, this stuff isn't just made just from their own imagination. This comes from the Holy Bible, the Holy Scriptures. Okay, and I just wanted to share that. I know a lot of people are familiar with the MCU, the Marvel Comics universe, or the movie universe, cinematic universe. But when I was watching it, I just saw that and just wanted to make this lesson. Okay, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and adore in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And on to the next video.